Alright, guys, we're going live now.
Alright, okay.
It's official. We have gone live. We still have no one here, so we have a couple minutes, but, Kathy, you wanna make the announcement in the server? Let people know we're here?
I did. I did.
Okay. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
So, yeah, I kinda wish I'd been there for this guy trying to, promote Tsukasa.
Promote.
Promote Tsukasa. You know what it reminded me of, right? It's like, when we first got baby Tsukasa and people were talking
Mhm.
about there being, like, separate Tsukasas, and we got the little backstory glimpse of him,
Mhm.
like, sacrificing himself for his brother, there was this, like,
Yeah.
wave of people who were like, "Tsukasa is the most amazing brother, he's so selfless and
Oh my
precious,
Oh
what
my
an
god.
god.
angel. Look at him, he, like, threw away his life for his brother, he's, like, the most perfect child ever." And I'm sitting there like, did you miss the portion of the chapter where he was sacrificing live animals to a supernatural entity? Like,
Yeah,
I like, like, even at the time when we were still theorizing that there were multiple Tsukasas, it was still like, Are you sure?" Like, because this one still seems, like, really iffy.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, if I had a child and they started sacrificing animals, I would just be like, red flag.
Red
Red
I mean, that
flag.
is a red flag.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
what I'd do with that child, but I would be very, very cautious.
Therapy? Like
Probably
psychiatrist?
therapy.
My god.
Probably.
Something.
Alright. Anyways, we got people in the chat, so, feel free to jump into the chat and say hi, guys. I'll say hi. Hi, everybody.
Hi guys. We've got
I'm watching
5
now.
people here now. How many how many of you guys are included in that 5?
Oh,
I'm watching, so
I
I'm included.
I'm not, 'cause I'm hosting
Oh yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm included. Okay, we got
Hi,
a
Eleanor! Oh, we can always count on
Eleanor,
Eleanor
yes,
being
yes.
here.
can always comment on Eleanor.
What did everyone think of the new chapter?
It was I'm confused. I'm confused. But also I liked the little Nene moment. We'll get to it,
We will
but
definitely
Yes,
get to it.
we'll
There
get
was
to
so
it.
much for that.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that
Ooh,
was amazing.
ooh.
But yeah, that was great. But also, this arc is really veering into time travel, isn't
I
it?
Yes, yes it is.
what are we gonna do?
Oh, no, no. I remember we spent so much time in the past talking about, like, no, they can't do this. They're not gonna do this. Time is static. It's not gonna change. We're not gonna do time travel. And here we are
Well, we
doing
could
time
still
travel.
do it, and it could still be static, but we don't know,
Mhm.
and I'm scared that's
I
not gonna be.
know. Oh my gosh. It was one thing with the
But
red house because that I don't know. The red house was a weird anomaly, but now it's like
yeah,
it's a plot point. Like we've got a clock. It's probably related to number one. It's big things going on. Like,
Yeah.
like the anti-key faction is sweating now.
oh my gosh.
Well, I guess it makes sense that, like, considering this is probably gonna be number one's kind of arc, quote unquote,
I hope
that we do
because he's
time
done like
travel
nothing.
because, I mean, number one is basically time travel powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense that we come back to it.
I'm really looking forward to key supremacy in the future.
Yes. Yes, I can feel it. Oh my god, I can feel it. It's coming.
All right. Should we just go ahead jump into this?
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
All right. New chapter 102. Take it away, Kathy.
Wait, you didn't do the
Yeah, we
introductions.
No.
didn't do
Do
introductions.
we need the introductions at this point? Come on,
I guess
everybody knows
not.
who we are.
I guess everyone who's here
Okay.
knows.
Yeah,
Y'all know who
that's
we
true.
are. If you don't know who we are, you know how many podcasts you have to catch up on. Go and watch the other podcasts and then come back here and you'll know who we are. Okay, let's start.
Okay, let's start. So we start in the middle of September. Everything's supposedly back to normal. Um, and we're in the middle of the. It's 1 week left to the school festival,
I love how
and
they just
everyone's
jumped all the
preparing.
time, like immediately. It was like last
Hmm.
chapter we were like, "Oh yeah, school festival, it's going to happen," and now this chapter's like, "We're a week away now."
So everyone's preparing apparently. Nene needs to memorize her script. I don't know what kind of script she has to memorize as a tornado, but okay.
Whoosh.
She's got to whoosh just right, you know? They've all got to spin in sync. It's important that the tornadoes are all spinning on their left foots in a right
And they
direction.
and they got a whoosh on cue.
They got to whoosh on cue. They got to harmonize, you know?
Harmonize.
But yes, this NPC comes up to Nene and she says, Nene-chan, could you go and buy something for me, please? No one, everyone else is too busy. And Nene says, sure, why not? I just says, thank you. No,
I've literally I've
I
literally
think this girl,
never read a read a school festival arc in a story where this specifically didn't happen. It's always
Yeah.
happened. Every
Yes,
single
right?
time.
It always
the thing
happens.
is, there's no explanation as to what this girl has to do. Maybe she just dumped her task on Nene and she's gone to like drink some lemonade or something.
I'll
But
believe
anyways,
it. She went to go drink
I
some
believe
lemonade.
yeah, that would be the smart thing to do, to be honest. But anyways, Nene decides that before she goes, she's going to inform Hanako, and she tries to inform Hanako, but he's in the middle of some deep, deep, deep thoughts. I don't know, maybe he's having some World War II flashback, some PTSD, something. That's what it looks like.
The World War II
No.
flashbacks.
I mean, he probably would have been alive when that bomb dropped, wouldn't he?
No.
No.
That
Okay,
was before his time.
Yeah, that was yeah.
okay.
Kinda close-ish.
But yeah, he's been
Wonders what's going
spacing
on.
out. Nene realizes that he's been spacing out, and I don't know if you can call it spacing out, to be honest, because you don't just write out ignore people
I
when you're
mean,
spacing out.
Hanako would, so
Oh, it goes different.
You're ignoring your lover.
yes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But it's
This is some
Hanukkah, you know?
PTSD if I've ever seen it. But anyways,
True.
Nene decides that she is going to go alone.
Well, she's not taking offense to it. That's nice. She's just like, it's
Yeah,
okay. He's spacing
she
out. It's
understands.
better to leave
Yeah,
him. He'll talk when he's ready to
that's
talk.
that's a
Hmm.
healthy mindset. I
It
like it.
is. It is a really healthy
Yeah.
mindset. And she's really not upset by it. She's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's sweet.
Now, just as Nene is about to leave the school gates and she has a little mochi following her, we hear Daikon senpai, I need your help. And the next thing I see is Ko. Like scrolling down, I thought Ko said that, and I was like, the audacity of this kid. When did he get so disrespectful? But I saw Mitsuba.
How did he get so disrespectful?
But I saw Mitsuba, and I was like, you know what? I completely understand. Go ahead with the plot. But yes, Mitsuba asks Nene to cover for her, to cover for him, and Ko comes running up. Just says, "Senpai, have you seen Mitsuba?" And Nene, for some reason, takes Mitsuba's side and decides to misdirect Ko.
I do
No, I
understand.
thought,
I understand because when you're put in the spot like that, like someone dives behind you, no matter what your relationships are, you're probably going to cover for them because you don't know
True,
what's going
yeah.
on. And
listen,
it's like, I need
listen,
to find out what's going on here.
listen. All I would think is that Tsukasa is enemy. Mitsuba associates himself with the enemy. Ko
Oh
and
my
I have gone
god.
through dimension. We have gone through time together. Why would I ever take Tsukasa's subordinate side? Why? But anyways,
I don't know. Well, those two do just
I
seem like,
mean,
they're two
Nene
boys running after each other. Like, I think she's got enough of a grasp on this situation just from looking to know that Mitsuba probably pulled a prank.
also Nene was like the first one to befriend the like Mitsuba, like, um what do I
Supernatural.
the supernatural Mitsuba, yeah. The like
mm,
supernatural Mitsuba that Tsukasa created. So she was the first one to befriend him technically.
That's
So
true.
uh,
yeah.
that's true.
And it's not
But
like
yes,
Ko looks like distressed or anything. He just looks
Yeah.
kind of
yeah.
mad. He's like,
But I'm about to get to that because Lady says Cole looked really mad right now. I don't think he looks mad. He's even like has a little blush going on there. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to read the situation a different way. You know, maybe he likes the chase a little bit. You know,
Oh, whoa.
maybe Mitzvah's playing hearts again. I don't know. But
KG being
moving
like
on.
sibling dynamics. Be careful, the Mitsuko Nation's gonna come for you.
They might have been talking about when we were talking about Mitsuba and Nene.
That too. All sibling dynamics.
Cause yeah.
Except for
Mhm.
Mitsuko, because I
Mitsuko,
wouldn't dare
yeah,
call
no,
it that.
never.
But um, Nene asked Mitsuba, "Did you do anything to Ko?" And oh my God, Ko said he took this sign, and the sign says "Ga," right, from the Minamoto's class billboard, and apparently Gachinko haunted house experience true terror now becomes Chinko haunted house experience true terror, and I don't know what Gachinko means, but I know what Chinko means,
I do. I
and
also knew
It's
that. I didn't need the translator note to tell me what that
yeah.
was. I
Gachinko
laughed.
means serious showdown.
oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay, I see, but okay, that changes the meaning by a lot. And it's not appropriate as Nene had informed Mitsuba. But anyways, um, he was bored apparently. That's his why he did this. And Nene decides, you know what, I'm going to adopt you for a little bit. Come and let us go on a
Adopt you
shopping
for
trip.
a little bit.
And thankfully Nene returned the gas sign. So they're leaving school grounds, and an interesting question comes up. Mitsuba can apparently leave the school grounds, although it makes him a bit weak. And the last time he did it, the first and last time he did it before now, was when he had the whole aquarium date with
Mhm.
Ko.
Mhm.
So that begs the question: who else can leave the school grounds?
I'm assuming
Um,
everyone. We already knew that Tsuchikamori can leave school grounds because we've seen
mhm.
him
Yeah,
like
we've
in the
seen him.
side panel
Mhm.
outside of school grounds. And I'm going to assume Yako can because she's from outside of school grounds as far as I know.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to assume everyone who is not a ghost that died on the property.
I don't know. I still think that it might be because Hanako is sealed.
Oh, it
Yeah, maybe
might be
he's
because
bounded.
he's sealed.
That's what I thought, considering everyone else can leave.
That's true. We have no
Yeah.
idea if Tsukasa can. It's just never come up.
True. But
But
assuming it's
anyways,
Tsukasa, I'd bet.
yeah.
Anyways, apparently Nene is going shopping for extra materials and costumes, and then she thinks for a little bit, and she says, "Mitsuba, you're not going to get your way." And Mitsuba looks so menacing here. It's like, why would I ever do that?
I wouldn't
And I
do
don't.
that to
Would they
you.
have they done something like this before?
No, they haven't, but
Oh.
Keiichi is right here. Like the sibling dynamic between these two is top tier. I love Mitsuba just being the annoying
Yeah.
little brother here.
I love their dynamic. It's fun.
Yeah. But they went on with their antics, choosing fabrics. Gets lost, ends up in a little accident, and he tries to like shove a whole bunch of things in the cart. Oh God,
I love the lost
annoying.
child panel. That's probably my
Lost
favorite
child.
one. She left me. It's not like you could ask anyone for help. He's a
Yeah, no,
freaking
Yeah,
ghost.
that's true. But Mitsuba's ecstatic. He had the time of his life here, and Nene is worn out completely. And she has to carry back all of this junk back to school, but Mitsuba helps her, which I guess was a bit unexpected.
I definitely
From
feel
Nene.
Nene in this bit. Like, worn out, that is me. I don't think I've ever gone on a shopping trip and come out feeling refreshed. Like, what is that? What is that experience? That doesn't exist. That's a myth.
Maybe if you're being the annoying one the whole time.
I guess if you're being the annoying one, we'll have to ask your sister.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Actually, yeah, that makes sense, actually. No wonder she said she can't meet Tsubasa.
Of course she does. Okay.
Yeah.
But yes, Mitsuba Nene starts wondering why is Mitsuba causing all this mischief. He does all the time, but she concludes that, maybe he's bored and lonely, seeing everyone else have fun and he can't really interact with everyone else. So Nene says, let's take a little detour, and she buys him some ice cream, and they start chatting
That's a
and listen
kind
to child.
that's a kind association that Nene made, being like, oh, maybe he's causing mischief because, he's lonely. And I'm like, Mitsuba enjoys the trolling. He does. Like, he has
Yeah.
the best time pulling pranks. He even before it was supernatural Tsukasa, we just had ghost Tsukasa. I mean Mitsuba, ghost Mitsuba. Like, he
Hmm.
still loved that.
Yeah.
So we get on to the favorite part of of this chapter
Yes.
now,
Yes.
the interrogation. It's Mitsuba's time to interrogate Nene now. So he just comes straight out. He says, "Are you going out with honorable number 7?"
She's just like,
And
what?
he says, "How far have you gone? Have you hold hands? Have you kissed yet?" And she's like,
Oh, the
I love
look on her
it.
face. Look at that
her face,
face.
So
her
cute.
face is
I'm gonna
adorable.
frame this face.
Oh,
The
so
sheer blush. I
cute.
want to color this panel. Like, it's been a
Yes,
while since I've looked at a panel and been like, I want to color it, but I
exactly. Oh
want
my
to
god,
color
I
this
really
one.
want to.
Hmm.
It's so
So
funny. So can we take a moment to appreciate the win here? Um, we have
Yes, confirmation.
officially gotten confirmation that this kiss happened. It was real.
It was a kiss. It was. No one can say it wasn't.
No one can say it wasn't anymore. No one can look at the framing and be like, oh, maybe it was a hug, maybe it was something else. Like, no, no, that happened.
That
There
was
was
a
a kiss.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Team Kiss wins.
Team Kiss wins. It's just
Damn
Team
right we
Kiss.
do.
And now Team Key just needs to win.
And this is
Exactly.
confirmed only because Nene didn't deny it. That is why.
No. We
Like,
get
to
more later.
Ah, okay. But yes, Mitsuba just casually calls her an idiot along with mates
Ko.
Minamoto.
Yeah.
Yes, cool. And because they know that they can't be with supernaturals forever, but yet they still fall in love. I mean, I would just, put that there for Ko and Mitsuba
I
as
know.
well. That's
But this is
fine.
even more like hard, like Mitsuko, like
It
implications.
was harder Mitsuko implication than I was expecting, really,
Right?
because
Oh my
like
god.
drawing the direct parallel between Hana Nene
Yeah,
and Mitsuba and Ko there, like
Right
yeah, I
after they
realize
talked
that.
about how like Nene and Hanako clearly have something romantic going on.
yeah. So I'm like, they just surprised me. I wasn't expecting them to go like
So
straight
intentional.
into
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
And Nene asks if anything happened between him and Ko. And he mentioned that it kind of sucked. Being at the aquarium with Ko, he became too weak to move, and he
No
got roughed
kidding.
up by Ko. And then Ko cried. Um, and they didn't get anything done that he wanted to do, really. But regardless, he still had a little bit of fun,
Mitsuba did
and he
really
says that
seem to
blushing.
think about how Ko cried there. Like, he pauses
Yeah.
for a sec, thinks about it, feels kind of bad. He cried.
Hmm.
Yeah. Ah, Mitsuba blushing. He's blushing a little bit.
He is
Yeah, he's
blushing.
blushing.
Look
Ah.
at him blush. It was still
Hmm.
kind of fun, he says.
Oh.
This is, but no matter what he does, no matter what Mitsuba does, he can't bring himself to dislike him.
Which,
And
obviously, how could anyone dislike Ko?
mhm.
But
True.
this is definitely quite the little Mitsuko moment.
So true. Oh my
And then
god.
Nene thinks again if she wonders why. That's why he always puts pranks on Ko. But she's getting a little bit closer to the mark here.
Yep, she's getting there. We know Nene's not very good at hitting the mark when it comes to guesswork, but
Yeah.
she's getting there.
Yeah.
Hmm. He says, so he asks, aren't you scared? That, falling deeply in love with number 7 and stuff. And Nene has thought about this clearly. I mean, I would be thinking about it if I had a ghost boyfriend,
It
which
is
I don't.
so sweet that she is thinking about it, though. Like,
Yeah.
it's also really funny that she still has that sort of shocked reaction as soon as anyone like refers to her relationship with Hanako. She's got this shocked moment of, oh God,
Yeah.
that's a real thing that's happened. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And because of good writing, that shock will eventually die down.
Yeah.
Like just
Mhm.
because of how good the relationship is progressing.
Well,
A
it's
lot
Yeah.
gotten better because, like, this has been going on since the severance, essentially. Like,
Oh yeah.
initially she was denying it, like, straight up. She was like, no, 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 nah, nah. And then she, like, was freaking out, but, like, was not straight up denying it. And now she's, like, cutting
Mm.
herself off halfway through the freak out. She doesn't even get, like, a full word out. And then she's like,
Yeah.
oh, calm down.
Mhm.
So she's
But
improving. She's getting there.
yes, she's improving. But she wonders how he really feels about her, and Hanako promised that one day he'll tell her everything, and he still hasn't done that because Hanako is being very secretive, as we know, and sometimes that's frustrating.
I love
Uh,
Mitsuba's, can't you just ask him?
exactly.
It's like, no,
She
no, no,
says
no, 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 no,
no.
no, 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 no.
She starts saying, "Do you know how much his past is riddled with touchy subjects?" And she doesn't want to poke her nose into it as an outsider, but Mitsuba is just playing. Mitsuba is just doing math here. Like, he says, if you want to be nosy, you can be nosy if you're his girlfriend, right? And she says, "I'm not officially his girlfriend yet."
I'm not sure that's how that works though,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, no, it's not. It's definitely not.
I don't think so.
Listen, that doesn't matter. The important thing is that Nene thinks that's how it works.
Okay.
Of course she would. Ugh.
Then he says, Ko says, "What if you were, in a relationship? Then, he would be more inclined to impart more personal details about his life with you, just becoming a couple. Everything's solved if you want to know more about him." And,
Oh my
there's
god.
a school festival, and that's a very romantic event. So why not, confess to him there? And
God,
Nene's like, "That's easy for you to say," but she cuts herself off.
these
And she
two
says, "But
idiots.
wait."
Oh my gosh,
And
they're too
she
much.
has I've seen this face before, but I can't remember where I've seen the face before.
You know what it reminds me of? That was like her face the first time she thought Hanako liked her.
Yes, yeah, yeah, sort of similar, yeah.
It's like that like, wait a minute. Maybe he
Yeah.
does. Like face. She's
But then,
definitely had that face and it's never led to something correct. That's
oh
never
no.
been a face she's made where it's like, "Oh yes, I've solved it. It's correct."
Right.
That's the
Yeah.
face we see as an audience and it's like, "Oh no, she's being so stupid again."
Oh my god, they're both so stupid. Mitsuba's stupid for suggesting this, and Nene is stupid for believing it.
Yeah, like, what makes her think she's not in a close relationship with Hanako already?
Right, already.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure they were, even before the kiss happened,
Yes.
actually. But at this point, I think Nene's just gotten excited about the idea of confessing. Like, she can
Yeah.
actually
Mhm.
maybe do it this time.
Mhm.
Mhm. But she recalls that she told him she liked him once, but that wasn't done very properly.
It
Like,
wasn't really the time for that.
Yeah.
She literally slapped him, like,
Oh, I
at the
love
same time.
the little like panel of the like a little recreation of the scene. It's so funny.
This is how Nene remembers it, apparently.
Yeah. It looked much more romantic at the time.
It was much more romantic
Yeah.
at the time. The little
but
note said while grabbing at his collar.
but maybe I really should confess, Nene says, and she looks all giddy and happy.
I like the contrast because you remember, like, at the time that the confession tree happened,
Yeah.
the whole thing was that she was really excited to be confessed to. Like, that was the
Yes.
big thing. She was
Mhm.
being confessed to for the first time. It was getting her all worked up. And now she's at the point where she's getting really giddy and excited about confessing. She wants to be
That's
the one
so
to say it this
cute.
time.
Aw,
Development, romantic
development.
development, good
Oh,
romantic development. I feel like
so good. Oh my god.
had a lot of experiences recently with wildly different romantic plots, and
Yes,
I just
yeah.
appreciate good romantic
So
plots.
I always appreciate good romance writings. It's so rare.
It really is.
And then Nene says, yeah, she basically says the same thing. Maybe you'll be able to talk to me more if I'm his girlfriend. And she says, if so, then, and they get cut off. Her thought gets cut off in the middle of it, and they realize that something isn't right in front of them.
Yeah,
We've
I
seen the scene
noticed that
before.
too. I noticed something a little different going on here.
Just a little. Just slightly.
Hmm.
Oh,
So this,
we've
hmm
gone into flashback mode. I
Yes.
didn't
yeah,
even notice it the first time that it actually goes into flashback mode with like the black panel background.
Hmm.
I just noticed that something had gone differently. But yeah, we're in flashback mode right now, guys. So that's the black
Mhm.
background. It's always been indicative of that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, Ko says, is it just me or something off? And no, Ko, it's not just you.
Mitsuba.
And because we've seen these scenes before, we notice exactly what's going on. This is the flashback of the same flashback we got when Hanako's working on the clock. So Nene, she didn't see that flashback, so she just concluded that the school festival has already started while they were gone. And somebody has to be the logic. Somebody has to like give her some logic field sometimes.
I just
It's
love that
a bit
Mitsuba's immediate shout of "No way!" Oh,
yeah,
Nene, you can't like don't let Nene draw conclusions in
yeah.
panic situations.
Oh, they're so
Yes.
funny together.
Mhm. And he says, "Isn't that next week?" And someone who could be Tsukasa, could be Hanako,
No,
says
this is
during
Tsukasa.
well, we know that,
We do.
but during he says during the festival, time the flow of time becomes unstable. Bits from the past and the future get mixed together into the present at a moment's notice. If y- just as if you were daydreaming, sights beyond and before the present becomes visible. And he stands in front of Nene, whatever the hell that meant, by the way. He stands in
We'll
front
come
of
back
Probably
to
Nene.
it.
Tsukasa.
He'll come back to it. But he just starts staring at her, and as soon as I saw those pupils, I'm like, this is Picasso.
Definitely,
Hmm.
And
yeah.
it's
You see the
confirmed.
pupils, and of
Yeah.
course, he's literally got his name tag. So
Yeah, just in case you didn't know.
Hmm.
so they all know for sure that's who they're
Hmm.
looking at.
So Picasso says, did you know that they say that if the clock gets moving again, that you can travel through time, both from the past to the future, and from the future to the past, whatever you want. Do you want to know more about Amane's past? And then he says, come play with me. It is dark eyes thing that he always does, and sharp teeth thing, creepy eye.
That was a fascinating thing for him to say, though,
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
because obviously Tsukasa here is like from the past, like Tsukasa from the past.
Yeah.
Probably, most definitely, that's who we're looking at. And he's saying, "Come play with me again." This Tsukasa remembers Nene from the Red
Yes.
House. Like,
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm
And
pretty sure that's the
didn't
implication.
yeah, and also the whole you want to know more about Amine. They had a whole like conversation together where they both said they wanted to know more about him
Yeah,
during the
Oh.
Red House.
yeah, it was a direct callback to the Red
Direct
House. And
callback. That was my
Tsukasa
first thought
remembers.
when I read that. Yeah.
And that was a big question we had after the Red House arc if Tsukasa remembered. And I think we all theorized that like maybe he does, but like he doesn't like care one way or another. But like this is a different matter because this is like Tsukasa while he was still alive, theoretically,
Yeah.
before he was
Mhm.
killed, before he became a supernatural, like remembering what happened there. So like if Tsukasa remembers that, obviously the Red House is very relevant to what's going on. What does Hanako remember? Like what well, Amane. What does Amane remember? What's his motivation with the clock? We'll get into it more later. Let's finish the chapter.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. So whoosh. Tsukausa's doing what Nene needs to do. Like she needs to take notes here. To be honest, like
That was a perfect
Taking
you
whoosh.
can't
She's
get
got to know
you
how to
can't
do
get
it.
a whoosh better
Yeah.
than this. But he disappeared, and what was that about? To be honest, that is a mood. Um, Nene stares up at the clock, and she asks, "By the clock, does he mean this clock in the auditorium that Hanako is now staring up at, having his PTSD flashbacks?" Um,
And we
yeah,
end on Hanako having his PTSD flashbacks.
that's
Ah,
what we end
yes.
on. Hmm.
We opened pretty much on Hanako having PTSD flashbacks, and then we ended on him having PTSD flashbacks. He spent that whole chapter just having war flashbacks.
That's great. Wow.
Like literally, his facial expression doesn't change throughout the chapter. Literally, but
That's true. He's got the same one at the start and the end. He's really spaced out.
Oh, yeah, he's not okay.
Okay. That's what you call it? I think it's more than that.
Spaced out. He's spaced out. All right, and yes, that brings us to the end of the chapter. That means we are open now, chat, to any questions you may have. But in the meantime, I've got a list of questions to address here.
Oh wait, did we do our predictions for last episode?
I don't remember what our predictions were.
I
I
have
don't
no idea. We're
remember
gonna
that.
have to start writing this down
We really do have to start writing them
Yeah.
because
down.
I keep not remembering.
I should do that. Like we can always just check our past videos, but that would require watching our past
Yeah.
videos and listening to our own voices. And
Yeah, no, thank you.
but in any case, so yeah, the big question we were just on, which Tsukasa was talking to Nene and Mitsuba? So, was that a ghost version of Tsukasa, or was it actually him while he was alive? Are we like, is it straight up time shenanigans where it's like they accidentally stepped into the past? What are your
I had
thoughts?
as- I had assumed it was like the ghost Sakasa that we know and some people love. But
Some
now
people
that
love.
you've mentioned that he is Sakasa from the past, that makes more sense. Especially when you mentioned the whole fact that they both want to know more about Amane,
Mhm.
and
Hmm.
Nene has played with him before, so that kind of cements it for me.
Yeah, that seems like it's much more like it's actually past Tsukasa.
Yeah, the direct callback to,
Hmm.
and you know what that means, right? It means that Nene and like anyone else who's going to get involved now, obviously, may and probably is directly involved in whatever series of events led to
Mm-hmm.
Hanako and Tsukasa both dying.
Yeah, I kind
Mm-hmm.
of knew that would happen. I assumed because
So
it's like,
I'm wondering if no, we're just going to stay in the past and let everything play out while we see what exactly Nene did to change things, or if they're going to go back into the future. Like, will there be a drastic change when all this time we thought we were going to get school festival and confession and all happy and lovey-dovey, but no, it's just going to go back to being dark
Did anyone
as
ever
this
think we were
series.
actually
no one,
going to
yeah.
get light stuff?
I
This
mean, the
chapter
thing
was
is,
mostly
they
light, at
gave us
least.
the chapter can't be light, and Hanako is in the middle of his PTSD
I
flashbacks.
said
What
it
do
was
Yeah,
you?
mostly light.
that's as light as it gets. So it's like
This
everybody
chapter is like
having
as light as
not a
it gets.
terrible time while at least one character is having PTSD flashbacks. That is the height of good you get in
Yeah, exactly. This is
TBHK.
TBHK.
What happened to
This
this
was a
manga? Oh my god!
relatively light chapter
Yeah, you remember when this was like a lighthearted story, guys, for like the first chapter?
for the first chapter.
That first chapter really hinted at a lighthearted, fun story, didn't it? For like 2 minutes.
Just the first chapter
Oh my
for
god!
2 minutes.
We
Once
need to
upon
go
a
back
time.
to we need to go back to simpler times when it
Oh.
was just some ugly mermaid.
But but yeah, I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of back and forth as far as time goes, like I as far as the time stuff goes. I don't think we're going to stick at like one time for very long. I'm pretty sure there's just going to be a lot of movement going on.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Because that's the whole point of the festival, apparently, is that time gets all messed up and wibbly wobbly. It's all sorts of craziness. But that brings up one of my other questions. Do you guys think the past can be changed?
No.
um, I mean, didn't they make that suggestion that Amane changed his past? His past was set
No,
in his
he
future
changed his
was set in.
future.
Amani changed his
Oh,
future,
oh,
and
okay.
Teru has specifically mentioned before that what has happened cannot be changed.
Yes, that's
Hmm.
why I'm
Okay.
I
Yeah,
think it's
my
not
bad. I mixed it up.
Mhm.
it's not like I don't think it can be changed. I think if you go in the past and do something, the future already accounted for that.
Yeah, the
Hmm.
of course the problem with that is that that means we are stepping pretty firmly into a tragedy right now
Yeah, but did
because
Hmm.
we expect anything less?
no, we
No.
didn't expect anything less, but there's just such an inherent a much bigger inherent tragedy in the idea that Nene is directly involved in whatever led to Amane dying.
Yeah, but I figured that that would probably happen. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm just really sad.
It's sad, but I'm also like, yeah, I knew they were gonna hurt me like this, so I was prepared.
That's the thing, I want them to be able to change the past. I want them to be able to change whatever happened. Like, I don't want it to happen, obviously.
But time travel problems.
But time travel problems, like, you can't just let that happen, and I wonder if that's going to end up being the central conflict of this, like, portion of the story, because we have number 1 who's probably in charge of making sure time, like, does not get messed up, and in theory, Nene and probably Ko too are going to be trying to save Amane once they know what's going on. And then there's going to be number 1 and potentially Akane working to make sure nothing does change. And that might be what goes on in this arc.
Oh yeah, Natsuhiko's working with Akane.
Yeah, that was another
Got that.
Yeah.
that was
from-
another
yeah.
thought. Like, do we think like all we saw was Natsu suggesting that he and Akane joined forces?
Sailor.
Do you think they did?
I think that there's no way Akane would join forces with Natsuhiko, but Natsuhiko can play some sort of manipulation games.
That's true.
To me,
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like
think
Natsuhiko's
no,
gonna get what he
I'm
he
sure
no.
Natsuhiko's
What
gonna
he
get
will
what he
do is
wants,
lead.
yeah.
He will lead Akane to believe that Akane can just dump him at the last minute. See what he's up to, dump him at the last minute, but it wouldn't work out for Akane. It would work out for Natsuhiko.
Yeah, if they are working
Mhm.
together, I suspect they're working like really reluctantly because Akane
Yeah.
hates supernatural, so
That's what
obviously.
yeah.
No, he's not going to do it willingly, but still Akane like doesn't trust Hanako at all. Like he only
Yeah.
worked with Nene to because like he wanted Aoi back. That was the
Yes.
only reason he was working, and he has Aoi now, so he's got no reason to work alongside Hanako anymore.
Would he sabotage Nene to get Aoi's lifespan back?
Aoi's lifespan
Or
is back. She's fine. She's just
Yeah,
got a
she's
she's just got a numb hand now.
oh yes. It's Nene who's in trouble.
yes.
Nene's the one in trouble. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Again.
always safe now. Although she can see supernatural, so that's cool. It'll be fun to see if she, sticks
Oh,
around in the
that's
story.
yeah, if she
Mhm.
actually gets to do stuff, yeah.
All right, what was something else I wanted to like touch on because like it just kind of crossed my mind after the past couple chapters to bring back the idea of whether Hanako was abused. Because at the start of the last chapter when we like saw the flashback for the first time, we talked about how Hanako very visibly did not have any injuries on him.
Yeah.
He was fine. Amane in the past was totally fine while he was working on that clock. And I just remember it being such a big deal whether Hanako was like a victim of abuse or not. And it was just the general consensus that yes, he was, but it was just a question of like who was responsible for it. And obviously the popular theory was Tsukasa because of the way he had that PTSD response when Tsukasa first came back. But like, was he though?
I don't know.
Right?
We don't know when this abuse started.
Yeah, we don't know when it
Yeah.
started, like, if it really started or if there was something else going on. Like, was he fighting something? Like,
Maybe.
did
I
it
still don't know where it comes in, to be honest.
it's gotta
Where
come in after this point, if he's, like,
Yeah.
fine
Yeah.
at this point.
I mean, he looks really depressed either way.
He did look depressed and stressed, for sure. Like,
Yeah.
things are not going good for Amane, middle school life Amane.
And we have to wonder why he needs to get the clock fixed as well.
Mhm. Ooh, and here's a thought. Lorithi was the one who brought this up. Is one's Yorishiro the big clock?
I was thinking about that too.
Right? It's an
Yeah.
interesting idea. Is the big clock might be the Yorishiro, especially considering that it might have these like supernatural powers directly associated with time, with number
Mhm.
one's powers. So it might be, and that would be very interesting because obviously it means Nene has a lot of power over that thing as like
Yeah.
as the priestess who can destroy Yorishiro. It's like what would happen if Nene destroyed that clock?
Good question.
Well, it's not destroyed because we know it's not destroyed. Because it's there in the future.
Yeah, but if she destroys it in the future, what happens?
Well,
She can
I
destroy
mean,
it in the now. She
I
just
would.
can't destroy it in the past.
yeah.
I would. If I'm not going to live long, no one else can.
Oh my gosh. Guys, if you have questions, go ahead and type them out some more. Like, just throw them in there. We're just going through my list anyways. Um, this was a funny one. Will Nene get to confess? Was something I wrote
Oh
down.
God!
Wait, hold on. The time.
Don't do me
Oh
like
shoot.
this.
Hmm. I thought they showed the clock in the past. But they didn't. Because I was about to say the panel where Nene looks up at the clock.
Hmm.
If that was in the past, then the clock I realized that the clock hand doesn't change. Meaning the Hanako didn't get to fix the clock, but it's not. It seems like it's just the same clock that Hanako is looking at
No,
in the future.
I think we do know that the clock wasn't fixed because like we saw the clock as Amane was fixing it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, so the clock is still the same. It's been broken the whole time.
Wait, when was Amane, okay.
Yeah,
For
when it
some
was
reason I
first
keep thinking
introduced.
Akane
Yeah.
when you say Amane.
There's a
Yes.
lot of names that just make it hard to keep track of people.
Hmm.
We've got the Amane and Akane, and then we've got the Aoi and Aoi thing going on.
Oh, okay, so the clock wasn't fixed then that did something to Hanako.
Yeah, it definitely
Uh,
wasn't fixed. But yeah,
so
let's go back around to whether you think Nene's going to get to confess.
I think so, but I
uh,
think something's gonna go wrong with it.
under these circumstances,
It's
oh
like
my
yes, but
gosh.
something's gonna be wrong with it, and it's not. Something's gonna go wrong. That's
Like,
fine.
there will be a confession, but it's not going to be your typical romance anime kind of confession.
Yeah,
Nah.
something's gonna be not right about it.
Nene looks too happy about confessing for it not
Exactly.
something not to go wrong.
It's
It's
too
like
nice of a like prospect.
I don't want to call it a death flag, but it had that kind of vibe to it. It's like, she's like, maybe I'll get a chance to confess, and then I just see this like dark colored flag go up behind her head, and I'm like, yep, there it is.
All right, you're dead now.
It's like I don't think that's gonna kill her, but it's definitely a like death to that idea. Like death
Okay,
to
so
that happening.
That makes more
Okay,
sense.
so Nene says she's going to confess, but will she actually confess? How about Hanako actually being the one who confessed?
Nah,
Just because like things
Uh,
happen differently.
uh, mm, I don't
that's
know. It
not
doesn't
gonna
sound like
happen.
Hanako. It just doesn't
You don't
sound
think
like
so?
Hanako.
Mostly because Hanako's too busy having more flashbacks.
Yeah,
I
that
think he's gonna be a
that
little bit distracted.
No, but suppose Nene's dying or something.
I don't need a confession from either of them. What I need is for Hanako to sit down and tell Nene about his past.
Yeah,
yes,
that's true.
a confession would be nice though.
That's a confession enough for me.
But it seems like he's not going to tell Nene about his past. I think what's a lot more likely to happen is that Nene's going to end up meeting with Amane, and they're going to have a talk, and Hanako's slowly going to remember what went down over the course of this
Oh
arc.
yeah, that
I
would be
wonder if
cool.
that's why Hanako ran away from Nene when he saw her in the past because he's seen her before or something.
Well, potentially, but also it was, she caught him crying in the middle of a classroom alone. I'd run away too. Like,
Yeah, cute girl caught him in like crying in the middle of a classroom. Yeah.
just like startled run. I don't think he was supposed to be there either, so there was that.
Uh, so he didn't fix the clock. Who started abusing him? Because he didn't fix the clock. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm
I don't
still
know. This
likely to
manga is
blame
just
Tsukasa because I'm not a crazy person who thinks
always
Tsukasa is
blame
an angel.
Tsukasa. Always blame Tsukasa. Like if you don't know, blame Tsukasa.
It's probably him, if
Even
anything, but
if you're
still,
not right, he deserves the blame.
he does. I really want to know what Amane was trying to do with the clock, though. Was he trying to go forward or was he trying to go back? Thoughts?
Yeah, good question.
And why did Tsukasa want him to fix the clock as well?
Well, because Tsukasa is Tsukasa, and if Amane wants it, then Tsukasa wants it.
True.
True. In a
But
weird messed up way. That's
I'd
true.
I'd be more inclined to believe that Amane is trying to go back. I think Amane
Yeah,
would be
that
trying
makes
to go
sense.
back to, his brother, disappearing at 4 years old.
Yeah.
and maybe, reclaiming the brother that he lost because the one he got back was something else.
Not the same.
It was different. He changed. How dare he change?
He changed into uh wanting to be murdered
Wanting to be murdered, being kind of a
by
demon.
him.
I wonder if he
Yeah.
retained supernatural powers. Because we did talk about the fact that he basically fused with the supernatural, and I would be
Yeah.
really curious if he retained any supernatural powers from that.
I'd assume he would somewhat, at least something.
Yeah, probably something.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So, here's another good one. Is Hanako going to be an antagonist in this arc? Because you
Ooh,
may have noticed he's been an antagonist for the past few arcs, technically
yeah.
speaking.
I mean,
Yes, he
I think it would be
has.
nice if he wasn't, because I feel like we've had enough of that, you know?
I definitely feel like we've had enough of that. I've had enough of Hanako just like being an like unintentional antagonist too, like just trying
Listen,
to do what's best for Nene
Like, I
on his
feel like
own.
with what you said
so
about number
far,
one before, it feels like number one might be the antagonist.
And number one might be the antagonist. I think what was the thought
listen,
I had
so far,
earlier?
Hanako is being a vegetable. That is what he'll be this
I
The
don't
arc.
entire the
I'd
entire arc, he's just gonna sit there and have flashbacks and do nothing.
I'd
Yes.
rather he not, but
That would be very
yeah.
funny though.
I don't think Hanako's going to be an antagonist this time. I think he's
No,
going to
yeah.
be the obviously the central conflict because it's his past
Mhm.
that we're talking about.
Hmm.
But I think it would be really interesting if this arc took the route of Nene being the one to try and do something for Hanako without consulting him and
Oh yeah,
unintentionally making things worse. I just
that would be interesting.
it would be really cool to just see that flipped on its head because so far it's just been what Hanako does every single freaking time. And then
Oh
it
yeah.
keeps telling him, stop doing that. It's dumb. You need to talk to me.
Mhm.
So having her do it would just be it would be really good.
You
I,
need
like,
an equal
Mm.
relationship, you know?
you need the equality in the relationship. They
Yeah.
both need to screw up in
They
equal
both
manner.
do. Yeah, exactly. With the key, she does something for him with the key.
She's
Yes,
got to do something
exactly,
with the
Eleanor.
key.
With the key.
She's got the key. It's all on her. She's got it. That key. She's got to
You don't
use the
know,
key.
maybe that key led to his death. Who
Well,
knows?
maybe that key's related to the clock.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe it's got
I mean, it
something
doesn't
to do
make
with the
sense
clock.
because like older clocks need keys to run.
They do.
Yeah. So. Oh my god.
Maybe the key is to the
Oh
clock,
my
guys.
god.
Maybe the
Maybe
key is
it's
to
for
the
the
clock.
clock. Because yeah,
Oh
older
wait,
clocks need keys.
maybe Hanako couldn't access the clock because he lost the key, and maybe that's why he couldn't fix the clock because Nene has the key. I don't
Maybe.
know.
Maybe. I don't know. Oh my gosh. I feel like we just made a breakthrough in like the key community.
I don't know. I feel
Listen,
like you could theorize about like a time loop with the key because maybe Amane got the key from Nene and then he drops it and Nene picks it up and it's just this loop of like the key only exists in this
wait,
specific
hold
time
on.
loop.
When did that? So we know that Hanako started getting abused after he couldn't fix the clock, right?
Theoretically, yes.
Okay. I mean, when did in July 1969?
Yeah. Yeah, right after the moon landing.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. I and yeah, sure, because the festival takes place in September.
Yeah, so September no, because this takes place before that. Because I think we did see at some point that Amane and Tsukasa are first years in this like fixing the clock story.
Mm-hmm.
So this happens before that. Like almost a year before
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
So yes,
okay.
in this flashback here that I'm looking at, when Hanako is abused, he's in second year. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. It's
Yeah.
almost a
Okay.
year.
It all makes sense. It
It
makes
all
sense,
makes sense.
guys. I got it. I got it. I got this timeline thing down.
Uh, and he says this happens every single day. Who is doing this to you? And Sashikomori just wants to help him. It's so sad.
It is
And then
sad.
the whole rope mark things too. Do you remember the rope marks that Hanako had on his
Yes, I
hands?
remember the rope
Yeah, I
marks.
remember because of how controversial it became. People talking
Yeah.
about, the theories about what Tsukasa
It's
did. I don't need to repeat
yeah, I
Yeah.
it.
know. Ugh.
I don't think any of us abide by that school of thought, but
Mhm.
it is definitely still there.
And then Hanako says that he forgives it. So maybe it's a case where he feels extremely guilty for maybe not being able to fix the clock. And then whoever does it, God, who else would he forgive for
I
doing all
mean,
these things to him?
I mean, so what you said, Emmy, about like how he's like maybe trying to fix the clock to go into the past, to, like save like Tsukasa before he like got all demonified.
Hmm.
So what if like because he was unable to do that, he feels like it's his fault that he wasn't able to save him, and that's why he forgives it.
That that works. I'd totally
Mm.
accept that as being the reason for that.
Yeah, just like connecting you guys' two thoughts together.
Mhm.
That's what we keep you around for, bridging this
Yes.
when Kathy and I can't connect.
Yeah, I'm
That's
good at
true.
connecting.
That's true.
I can connect the dots.
So, I mean, maybe we can just call it from now. Tsukasa is the abuser.
Okay, I'm calling it. I'll
Yeah, that
call
makes
it.
the most sense. Yeah.
Whatever
And
happened, it's Tsukasa's fault.
Yes.
yes,
Yeah. Even if he isn't the technical abuser, it's still his fault.
Hmm.
as
There we
for
go.
why Tsukasa would abuse his brother, maybe he's trying to irk him into doing the thing that Tsukasa wants him to
Yeah,
do.
that was my initial thought when that became like a plot point. I was like, okay, so he's the one doing the abuse to try to like get him to like do that thing that he wants.
Mhm.
I think
S-
I don't know if the story's gonna go this way. It probably won't, but it was just a
It
thought.
probably won't.
Um, it's it's I do wonder if the supernatural that like fused with Tsukasa essentially, if like eventually there might have been some conflict there, if like it wasn't working internally between Tsukasa and the supernatural, and if the supernatural started taking over a lot more than Tsukasa, like the person, while he was still alive, that could account for why things suddenly got more violent.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah,
Mm,
that makes sense.
or maybe
Not to
something is
excuse
becoming.
Tsukasa, because Tsukasa is crazy
Yes,
and a
Sukasa's
total
crazy,
psychopath,
but being
Mhm.
but
demonified makes you more crazy.
yeah, he may very well have been demonified while he was still alive. That could have happened. Just a thought. It might happen. I don't have any faith in my ability to predict Ida Euro's storytelling
No, yeah,
techniques.
no, I don't think anyone can.
No, no one can.
Uh,
What if he? Wait, what did Nene say to Tsukasa when Tsukasa became extremely excited? She told Tsukasa that Hanako was going to kill him in the future, right?
No, Ko said
Ko
that.
told him.
Ko said that.
Nene was like,
Okay.
Ko, there are some things you shouldn't say. And then
Yeah.
Ko was like, I'm gonna tell this kid. He needs to
Oh
know.
my god. What if Ko is the reason for all of this?
Well, he might be. I think we even
He,
talked about it after
yeah,
he did
yeah.
that it's
Oh
like
my
it might be
gosh.
his fault.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh, Ko. He
But I
tries his
forgive him
best.
because it's Ko.
True.
I mean, he was the MVP for that arc, so yeah, we can forgive him for
True.
that.
Yeah.
He was such an MVP. I hope we keep him around because oh, after him being an MVP for so long, I'd just be sad not to have him around.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's time to give other people the spotlight, and Nene needs her real girl boss moment. She
She
hasn't had a lot of
really
them.
Yeah.
does.
She
Not
needs a
recently,
proper
no.
one.
Yeah.
Has she ever had one?
Oh, yeah, she
Uh,
has.
Picture perfect arc. Nene had
Yes,
some
picture
girl boss
perfect
Yeah,
arc.
oh
moments.
She was
yes.
absolutely
Yes.
girl boss mode in
I
that arc.
loved that arc because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those girl boss moments. Oh my god.
Man, don't I hope that anime project covers it. Wouldn't it be
Please.
great if we knew some details
I'm
about that?
so in pain about that. No.
Why do they keep
Uh,
doing this? Just don't mention it. If you're not
don't
ready,
don't talk
just
about
don't do it.
it
Don't
unless you
talk.
have more information.
Don't
Do
put
they
something
even know
out.
what it is? Who knows?
I don't know. They just called it an anime project.
Like,
Ugh.
what does
That
that
tells us
mean?
nothing.
I can't even get excited.
Ugh.
I don't know.
No, listen, we've all been jaded. We have all been so jaded to this.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no
TVHK
hope.
fans.
Eleanor asking, what role do we think Kako will play in this arc? Oh, past man. I'd love to see him again. He really needs to come back. I want him
Oh
to be an
yeah. I mean,
antagonist.
I assume this arc is gonna have like a lot of number one shenanigans, so I assume he's gonna
Mhm.
be important.
Hmm.
'Cause he's kind of the leader of like the number one gang.
He has to be relevant. He has to.
Yeah.
He's got this
I
whole
just
like
don't want
father
samurai.
time air about him. Like he
Mhm.
has to.
Considering they're going into the past and he, governs past, then yeah, I think
Mm.
definitely.
In fact, he may be directly involved in Nene and probably Ko and maybe Mitsuba going to the past specifically.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
because
Hmm.
if they have no control over it and they just like kind of sort of realize what's going on, they would maybe need a guide in order to get like to the time specifically they want to get to.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
yeah, I hope he comes back and gets involved. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I assume he will.
Hmm. Oh wait, I don't think that key thing can work. Now that I think about this, the thing where I was saying about the key, Nene losing, Hanako losing the key, so he couldn't access the clock to fix it. That has
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
to.
Yeah,
No, that
Yeah,
wouldn't have worked.
that
No.
all had that all happened after, like a
Yeah,
year after.
that happened long after, but I still think the key might be relevant. In fact,
Yeah, I think
maybe
it's still, yeah.
maybe they do fix the clock. Maybe the clock gets fixed and then it's like immediately broken again. One of those like one use things where it's like you gather the 7 Dragon Balls and then they scatter themselves immediately after you use them. Maybe it's one of those things. Maybe you need the key in order to fix the clock, and maybe
Oh
they
my
did
god.
fix it, but Hanako wasn't able to do what he wanted to do. I don't know.
So
Maybe.
why is the key significant anymore?
Well, the key will be significant now because if the key is what fixes the clock and Nene's the one who has it now, so if they're fixing the clock in the past, they need Nene.
Wait,
Huh.
but wait,
Oh,
wouldn't he
I
have the
see what
key
you're saying.
though? Wait, no, wait, what?
No,
Because,
Nene has the key now.
yeah, my thought is that Amane got the key
Oh,
from Nene
you
initially.
mean now? Okay, you mean in like the present.
Like
Yeah.
present Nene has the key, and then past Amane gets the key from Nene, and then he has it to drop a year later, which
Oh.
Nene then picks up.
Oh,
Is
Oh,
my
so
come
it's like
on,
thought.
a loop.
guys.
It's a
Yeah, it's a
loop.
loop.
Okay.
It's the
But
key
Nene
loop.
doesn't have the key on her right now. She doesn't. There's no way.
Of course
There's
she
no way
does.
a
She
fairy
always
does
keeps
that.
it with her. Obviously.
That would be
Nah.
amazing if it was revealed. She always keeps it on her.
I hope she always keeps it
Oh
on
my
Has to
her.
god,
provide a reason
that'd be
because
so
I, I,
sweet.
w- I won't be satisfied with that unless she provides a reason.
I don't. I would be. I mean, I don't see why she wouldn't.
I'd be
What do you
satisfied
mean?
because I'm totally the kind of person who like, I pick something up, I put it in my purse, and then I just have it on me forever. And then like two
Yeah, me
years
too.
later, I look at my purse
Exactly.
and I'm like, damn, this was in here the whole time.
Exactly. I don't need an explanation for that when I do that all the time.
Absolutely. If she just like plopped it in a pocket and it's just in the pocket and she forgot it was there.
Mhm.
Nene would do that. Nene would
She would.
absolutely do that.
And she just like when they need it, she just has like a wait a minute
But a
moment.
key
It's
though,
like,
a key is
right, I have this.
a key is like a utility object. So I just toss that in like my key pan or something.
Why do you have a
Yeah,
key pan?
Where you
it's
keep all the keys.
a key that she got from the past. It's not just some random key.
It's not a key that
Kind of
she's going to be able to
Okay.
special.
use in any other
Yeah,
situation. Just keep it in her pocket. I don't know. I will defend
I'd
this
totally do
key to
that.
the end of time.
I'd totally do that though. So far,
You
like,
guys always
yeah.
smoking some copium. Not gonna lie.
Nah,
No,
you're smoking some denial.
even if it's not on her, I still think it's gonna be relevant. So maybe not this arc, but it's gonna be relevant.
It's going to be relevant, and I am banking on this arc at this point.
Yeah, right. This arc seems like the perfect time to bring it up.
It would be the perfect. They've already called back to like that specific time in the manga twice
Yeah.
now.
Hmm.
Like I
You
think they
guys
called
think this
back to
arc
it
is
this
going to be
chapter
a big
too.
arc?
Hmm?
I think this arc is going to be a big arc.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a huge arc because it's
Oh
Hanako
yeah.
backstory arc.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm. And then we have number one in there who they've been foreshadowing from like the
For so
beginning.
long.
Ever since he was introduced, it's been foreshadowed that number one's relevant.
Number one, yeah, important.
Like, he's important to the overall story somehow.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. All right, I have one more question that I just jotted down because it was a funny chapter to bring it up.
Mhm.
Do you guys think Mitsuba likes Ko? Like,
Yes.
romantically?
Yes. Yes. Come on! After this chapter, I feel like there's no denying it. It's so
He
coded, like, oh my god.
I'm definitely very suspicious. Like, literally putting the shipping aside and just, like, reading the manga as it is coded that way.
It's
Like,
coded that way. They parallel it to the main ship, like,
they
that's
do.
well, it's not an accident.
Like, parallel
Is
directly to Hanako and Nene, you can't
Like,
tell me that that's not supposed to
Iroh is
be a little
not,
bit
like
romantically coded.
Iroh knows what they're doing.
Mhm.
Like, they know what they're doing with their writing. So, yes, it's absolutely intentional and on purpose and coded.
Yeah, there's no way
listen,
they would do that by
in
accident.
my head canons it is, but for some reason, although I hope they do, I don't think their manga is going to go into that direction.
Here's the thing, you know where the bias is, right? It's just
Mhm.
unless it's specifically a gay boy romance manga, you
Yeah.
typically do not ever get gay boy
Yep,
romances.
yep, yeah.
It's
I hope they
almost
break the
unheard
stereotype.
of.
I think,
I
yeah,
hope
even if they don't
they
do
break the
it,
stereotype.
even if they don't do that, I think it's still heavily implied
Yeah,
that
so
It
they,
is
that's what they're
definitely.
doing.
yeah,
Yeah.
so they may do nothing more than heavily imply it, but I do think they're intentionally coding that. I just like, yeah, it's hard to believe that they're actually doing that, but I'm pretty sure it's just my bias in reading a lot of manga and watching a lot of anime
I
and like,
don't read a lot of manga or watch a lot of anime, so I'm not biased at all. And
yeah,
I'm like, I see the coding. I am very, very familiar with that kind of coding, and I see it. I am perceiving it.
yeah. I love them for that too, that they're like just throwing that in there. Like, yeah, this is a possibility. There's chemistry here. Like these two,
Mhm.
they're into each
Yeah,
other.
and we're just gonna go ahead and parallel them to our main ship,
Wait,
like,
didn't
nothing.
wait, didn't I think Baby Tsukasa asked Ko if Mitsuba is his boyfriend or something?
Did that happen?
Didn't Yes,
I
it
think
wasn't
so.
it wasn't if he was his boyfriend, it was something else, but it was like romantic implied.
Yeah.
Let me find it. I'm gonna find it real quick because
It's
I'm
during
already
the Red House.
yeah, yeah. I'm already at that part. I'm just looking for the specific chapter.
I'm sure Ko would have
So
reacted with a no way kind of
Yeah, yeah.
deal.
That's
yeah,
basically how he
yeah,
reacted
that
from what
was
I
it.
remember. Uh,
But Ko is just obsessed with Mitsuba. And it can't only be guilt. It can't.
Well, at this point, I'm pretty sure he's known like Supernatural Mitsuba a lot longer and a lot better than he ever knew living Mitsuba.
oh yeah,
Mhm.
okay, okay. I found it. So like when like the like fake Mitsuba appears in like the red house, Tsukasa's like, "Who is that? Do you love him? Are you too?"
That's amazing.
Mitsuba, Baby Tsukasa is so progressive at that young age. Love it.
Yeah, it's so funny because of the time he lived in too.
Hmm. That's Tsukasa for you,
Oh
right?
well, yeah, he was always a little anarchist, so we knew.
Absolutely.
Let people do whatever they want.
But yeah, yeah, they're coding Mitsuko as canon.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, congrats to Ida Iro for doing that. I'm proud
Thank
of them.
you. Yeah.
Hmm.
If they I will be so, like, shocked and happy if it's actually, like, made explicitly canon.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but I would love it.
TBHK is kind of marketed towards the shonen crowd. It's like it's not strictly a shonen, but it is marketed towards that like
Which
same
is
sort of crowd.
so strange to me.
Mhm.
Like, 'cause, like, every,
Mostly
like I like, almost
teenage
every
girls read this manga.
fan yeah, almost every fan I've met has been, like, young adult or teenage girl.
There are a
Hmm.
shocking number of teenage girls who are into TBHK.
So many.
It's really
I'm like
impressive.
and then I, like, see that this is, like, marketed towards, like, a shonen crowd, and I'm like, "But it doesn't seem like it from, like, the entire fan base that I've seen."
Yeah, yeah, it's funny. But like that also explains why the potential gay couple is just implied and not not stated because shonen don't do romances between its boys.
Yeah. Oh, and also the romance in this manga is way
Shoujo
too good
does.
to be a shonen.
Shoujo does, yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, there's no way. There's no way. The romance is good. It's not. It's no way. No, not a shonen.
All right, guys. I think we covered a lot of questions there, and we're over an hour in now. So,
Are we doing
predictions
any
for the next
predictions?
chapter.
Where are we going with the next chapter? Oh my
That's a
gosh.
good question.
I don't think we can ever
Hanako still
tell.
has PTSD. We can just establish that already.
Well,
Hanako
that
has
we
PTSD.
knew that.
Hanako does have
we've
PTSD.
we've been knew that.
I think this was one of like the first things we learned about Hanako as a character is that he has
Yeah.
PTSD.
Yep. Yeah.
No. I'm saying he's still going through his flashbacks.
Mhm.
Like he's just going to be a vegetable the next chapter. So I hope he explains something, but I think this is going to be I don't know because I want to say that Nene and Ko does Mitsuba, sorry, Nene and Mitsuba just continues, following and playing with Tsukasa, as he calls it. But they've already switched back to the present with Hanako having his PTSD flashback clock, right? So I don't know where it's going, but it's either direction.
I definitely hope it's like we get more like Nene and Mitsuba being like a little team because I like
Yeah.
that a lot.
That was really great. It would be awesome if Mitsuba just like sticks with the group the whole time for this arc.
Oh
I
yes,
want him around.
please. Oh please.
Mitsuba missed out on the last like 2 arcs too. Like
Oh yeah. He deserves the spotlight for sure.
he really does. He
It's
should
like
be
yeah, he
around.
got that little like story with Ko with the aquarium, but I think he deserves to be in like a big arc again.
Yeah, like he
And
missed the
how
entire sleepover. He missed the entire severance. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
and how is Nene going to get back to the present?
what she is in the present. They're just jumping back and forth.
They're... Okay. Yeah, the panels. The panels.
Yes.
Oh my god, I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
it goes from black to white, yeah.
Yeah, she came back. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I agree with Eleanor. I think there's gonna be a point of view shift. And I'd really like it to go to Natsuhiko and Amane. I think
Do you guys mean Akane?
Akane. I meant
Yes.
Akane. I hope that number 1 gets reintroduced next chapter.
Yes, yes, please.
That's my
Yeah.
prediction. We bring number 1 back.
Bring number 1 to this, yeah.
It'll be great. It's like because all we've had of number 1 has been Akane since I think the Clock Keepers arc. Have we seen any of the other Clock Keepers other than like the one time where they're having like a meeting of the
I
wonders?
don't think so. People have just talked about them and been like, they'll be important later.
Like eventually they'll come back and be important.
No, we did see them. We did see them
When?
when Nene, you remember, died because Mirai touched her.
That
Well,
was the Clock
That was
Keepers arc.
the Clock Keepers.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you say that part. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Clock Keepers. Obviously, we saw them during Clock Keepers because that was in their introduction arc.
Mhm. Yeah, we saw
But
them in the Clock
yeah,
Keepers arc, and then we saw them for like 2 minutes while they were having the meeting of the
Yeah,
wonders.
because
And
all of the
yeah.
wonders were there besides number 6.
yeah, and Kako was being all like, "How are you going to fix this problem, number
Yeah,
7?
yeah.
This is like a big deal." And he's just like, "Chillax,
And then,
man.
yeah,
Everything's
Hanako was
fine."
like, nah, everything's fine. Everything's chill. Take a chill pill, old
It's
man.
like number 6 will handle it, and then number 6 off handling it.
Mhm.
The back panel is like, he sure handled
Nah,
it,
number
didn't he?
6 got this. He's gonna murder a child. It's fine.
He sure got that.
I am just waiting to see some water. Like that's how I know it's number 1's boundary. To be honest, because we still haven't seen that.
Oh yeah, we haven't seen
Yeah,
his
we haven't.
boundary.
Nope.
I really want to see that.
Oh, that's like a good prediction for this arc, like seeing number 1's boundary.
I'll throw that down for an arc prediction. Gonna see
Yeah.
number 1's boundary. Gonna see Hanako's backstory. Oh, gonna see
In
the
this
key
whole
become
arc, wow.
relevant.
He-
Oh, it's
That's
finally
like,
our
that's like
time.
it's more of a want than like a I know this is gonna happen. It's more of a feeling.
It's a dream.
The dream. It's
It's
the
a
dream.
wish.
It's a wish.
But yeah, looking forward to that. Any other predictions for the next chapter? Anyone in chat? Predictions for the next chapter?
Oh yeah, I definitely agree
So
that
they're back.
I definitely agree that I miss the Mitsu Nene working together. We haven't seen that since Hell of Mirrors, and yeah,
Yeah, it's been way too long.
I love their platonic relationship.
Mhm.
It's good.
Let the platonic relationships take the front seat. Yeah, let Nene and Mitsuba just like be that sibling dynamic.
Yes, besties.
Yes,
Who one of them annoys the hell out of the other, but it's fine.
absolutely. Mitsuba is just that character.
Mitsuba is that character.
I couldn't tolerate him. No, not at all.
It'd be fun. If the two groups we have going are like um Nene and Mitsuba and Amane and Tsukasa. I want to see more Amane
Ooh,
and Tsukasa interaction in
that
the
would be
past.
interesting,
What?
especially yeah.
I
Oh,
want to see it. So
that's
what
every time. Oh my god. Have you ever seen Amani with Tsukasa and Amani is happy? Who is
no.
always the happy one?
No,
Tsukasa.
yeah,
So
Tsukasa's
why would
always
you
the
want
happy
to
one.
see that? Tsukasa is toxic.
I want
Because it's
because I want
interesting,
to see them together. Like I want to see their interaction as brothers more.
right? It
There's
would
been
help our
so
theories.
little of it. So little of it with them as like older boys. Like we saw them
Yes,
as little kids being
before the
brothers.
whole, you
Mm-hmm.
know, demonism.
Yeah, before the whole demon thing, possession, power Christ compels you business,
Yeah,
we saw them, but we haven't seen them like actually be brothers as they are as
no.
like teens.
Yeah, that flashback that we got last chapter with the clock was like the most we've seen.
Yeah, and that was so nice. I want to see what their dynamic is. I want to
Yes, please.
know what Amane and possessed Tsukasa are like together. This is
Mhm.
important.
Ugh, this is why okay, Amani has PTSD.
Eleanor asking why do people like Tsukasa? The answer is he's insane. I don't know. Have you ever had that person in a class where it's like, wow, that person might end up in jail, and then everyone just like flocked around them because
Yeah,
they
that's
were highly
entertaining.
entertaining?
Yeah. Tsukasa is very entertaining, I'll give him that.
And also Tsukasa's pretty personable when he wants to be.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like a
for sure.
trademark of a psychopath that they're really charismatic and know
Yeah,
how like to form good relationships with people.
yeah.
It's just how they are. But yeah, Amane wouldn't be able to do that because he's not a psychopath.
Oh yeah.
Probably.
Dominate definitely gives introvert vibes for sure.
He is. He does have the introvert vibes. Well, I think that covers predictions. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to add about this chapter? Anyone in the chat?
Yes.
Anyone?
Anyone?
I mean, it takes the chat a moment to respond.
Yeah.
You
Chaotic
guys got nothing.
extrovert.
No,
Yeah.
not really. I mean, we talked about everything we just want to talk
We
about, I think.
basically did, and we went on for a good while there.
Yeah, so we're
Mhm.
over an hour now.
We are definitely over an hour.
But
But
I
yeah,
hope Hanako actually does something.
he's gonna do
Except
something.
Yeah,
They're
he's
not
gotta do
going to have
something.
him be
Yeah.
a vegetable for the rest of this arc. It's not gonna happen. They won't do it. But anyways, next month the chapter is early.
Early, yes.
I don't
16th.
know what day of the week is that.
the
Let me,
16th.
the
Um,
16th is
it's a
Friday.
Friday.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic. That's perfect. Okay. It was really sad. Last month was like a Monday, and when we ended up having to do this in the middle of the week. It was
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that was
not
terrible.
fun.
definitely prefer doing this over the weekend. But yeah,
Mhm.
so next month, chapter release on the 15th or 16th in Japan. If you live in
Yes.
Japan, you probably don't if you're listening to our podcast, but in any case, we will be back here to chat about it, and I'm really excited to see where the arc keeps going. This is gonna be such a big
So
arc, guys.
excited. It is. I'm so excited.
I'm so looking forward
Really,
to
really
it.
into it.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And thank you
Fixes
everybody
everything
for
up.
joining us, Eleanor. That's the thesis. Anyways, you're usually here. KG White's usually here. Thank you guys so much for coming and joining and listening in, and we will see you guys next month.
Yep. Bye.
Mhm. Bye, guys.